AI judges are here to take over the UFC, and we are going to eliminate all improper judges. Dana White will be happy, the fight fans will be happy, and we will never have a controversial decision again. And why do I say this? Because we have this tweet here from Turkey Alal Sheikh. If you didn't know, Fury and Usyk are fighting for the second time tomorrow, this Saturday, December 21st. And he says, for the first time ever, an AI-powered judge will monitor the fight. Free from bias and human error, brought to you by The Ring. This groundbreaking experiment, which won't impact the official results, debuts during the biggest fight of the century. They say that for every boxing fight, I swear. Usyk 2 Fury on December 21st. And we could go further into the tweet here. That is all there is, and there's a cool minute and a half video I could play, but I'm pretty sure I'll get copyrighted. So here is one of the coolest screenshots of the video. So it is called The Fourth Judge, and in this fight, it's not going to impact the official results, but they're going to test it out and see how it scores the rounds compared to the actual judges and how the actual fight goes, and see if this is something that they could implement in the future. Sorry, my face cam disappeared from the screen, but this gives you guys the best view of what's actually going on here. So they have the positive and negative stats here, and they're talking about stuff like aggressiveness, effectiveness, impact. We got backpedaling, clinching, passive time, illegal punching. So that's how it is in boxing. In something like the UFC, we're going to have striking. You could have like boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai. You could have ground game. You could have clinch game. And really analyze each stat and compare them to each other, and blue versus red for each fighter, and see who's winning what. And certain stats are going to be more important than others. Like UFC, we're going to have like takedowns, control time, submission attempts. That's an important one, because if you're just sitting there with control time but not doing anything, we're not going to score that. And I'll bring you to a different point in the video here. So here's another cool frame. It tracks so much of each of the fighter and really knows what's going on. So we'd have to have different ones at different angles to fully catch everything. See stuff like hands in the fence, which we're going to take points for. No more hands in the fence and hands in the gloves. That stuff is not going to go unnoticed. All the AI cameras will be able to see that. And it's going to look for if you're sitting there like Shavkat Rakhmonov and just holding Ian Gary against the fence and nothing's going on, it's not going to award points for that, or it's not going to award much points for that. And so how the scoring is going to work is it's going to take each of these different categories that the UFC has their criteria based off of, and it's going to weight them. And weight them meaning something important like damage. One of the most important things is going to be weighted higher than something like control time, something less important. So if you are up 10 points to 8 points on damage, it's going to give you a full 10. Whereas if you're up something like 10 points to 8 points on control time, it's maybe going to give you like 5 or 6 points. And then it's going to add up these total scores and compare these scores to each other. And whoever has the higher score at the end of that round wins that round. And this makes it clear cut. And the big bonus with AI and why this is better than human judges is it takes all objectivity, or subjectivity I should say. It takes all subjectivity out of the fights, meaning there's no bias, no opinions, no agendas going into any of these decisions. We're not giving Gane a victory over Volkov again, right? We might give Aldo that victory over Batista, because we're not going to sit there and just give him points for holding someone up against the cage. That's just not how it's going to go. We might give Charles the win over Arman, because Charles almost submitted Arman in 2 of the rounds when all Arman did was sit on top of Charles. We're not going to be giving a bunch of points for that. The AI is going to know better. And AI, it's going to keep getting better over time as it keeps getting trained on more fights. So this is really the future of MMA judging, and it's what the UFC needs to do if they want to take out all these controversial decisions, which even Dana White's complaining about, even though it seems to benefit the UFC putting their prospects over. But this will make fight fans happier, fighters happier. It's a win-win-win for everyone involved, except the boring fighters who like to just sit there like Arman or Merab and not do anything, It's going to suck for them, but hey, maybe you should think of fighting somewhat entertaining and actually trying to finish your fight. If you think about a fight at its basic components, is you're trying to put the other guy out. Like in the old days, it's a fight to the death. You don't just get to sit on top of someone. That's not a fight. That's just stupid at the end of the day. Nobody wants to watch that. That's not what fighting is at its core. So this is going to make the UFC much more watchable and make the fans and everybody involved much more happy and much more predictable outcomes. So it's only a benefit, in my opinion. I mean, it sucks for the judges that will lose their jobs, but they're not doing the best job anyways. But let me know what you guys think down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.